It is July 27th, 2024, and you are listening to Sports Chowder with me, Sam Stebbins. Today I'm talking about some big Red Sox news, Olympic basketball, more NBA rights drama, Patriots training camp, and more. First of all, last Tuesday was the 2024 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. And of all people, Red Sox outfielder Jarren Duran was named the MVP of the game. Jarren hit a clutch 2-run home run to seal the victory for the American League All-Stars. Of course, I am so happy for Duran. He's had a great year so far, and the MVP award is giving him the recognition he deserves. I really hope it is the first of many such awards. In other big Red Sox news, on Wednesday the team announced they had signed manager Alex Cora to a 3-year extension worth more than $7 million per season. Now, when Alex was asked about this deal, he really focused on the fact that Boston is home for him and his family, and that the Red Sox as an organization mean the world to him. You know, he could probably go to a team with a flashier lineup, but the Red Sox are the team that he actually loves, and Boston is where he is at home. And that is really worth a lot to me. I think this season really seemed like it was going to be a real bummer, and thanks in no small part to his leadership, it's been better than expected, and we're competing for a playoff spot. So I'm really glad the Red Sox made this choice. I think he adds a lot to our team, and he has a lot of history with us. You know, he was a player during our 2007 championship, and he was the manager during our 2018 championship. And I hope he has the chance to win at least one more before his time in Boston is up. I'll be the first to admit some of my feelings towards Alex are motivated by nostalgia. I was in high school when the Red Sox won the World Series in 2018, and I saw firsthand that Alex was a difference maker as manager. Before this season started, it was really possible that this would be Alex's last season in Boston, and at the time I expressed some sadness over that. I'm really happy he's going to be around for a while. I think there's still a lot of potential in the Alex Cora era of Red Sox baseball. Now, moving on to a different Red Sox story, the MLB trade deadline is this coming Tuesday, and the Red Sox have made a move. It's not a huge move, but it can be a helpful move, in my opinion. They have traded for Dodgers right-handed pitcher James Paxton in exchange for a minor league infielder. Now, Paxton actually used to play for the Red Sox, if you recall. He signed with Boston in the 2021 off-season, but he had been injured the previous year and was unable to play in 2022. In 2023, he pitched in 19 games, going 7-5 as a starter. In fact, he was named the June 2023 American League Pitcher of the Month, after going 3-0 in June. Unfortunately, after the trade deadline last year, he struggled a bit, and his season ended early due to right knee inflammation. He then signed with the Dodgers in the 2023 offseason, and has gone 8-2 so far this year. Honestly, I like this trade. As I said, it's not flashy at all, but the Red Sox need pitching depth as we fight for a playoff spot against the Kansas City Royals. So I hope this turns out well, but if it does not, at least we did not sacrifice any major pieces. Before I move on from the Red Sox, I want to take a look at their most recent series and preview their next series. Since my last show, we have won a series against the Royals 2-1. And after the All-Star break, we were swept by the Dodgers and lost a series to the Rockies 2-1. On Wednesday, we lost 20-7 against the Rockies, which, not so fun fact, tied to the Colorado Rockies franchise record for most runs in a game. Needless to say, it's been a very difficult road trip out in the western half of our country, and I'm really glad that they'll be back home this weekend against the Yankees. Honestly, there is no better place to get things back on track than Fenway Park. It is the greatest ballpark of all time, and it is home to the best fans in all of baseball. Frankly, the Yankees were just swept by the Mets, so if anything, we both have negative momentum going into this series, which, if we're smart, can be used to our advantage. So let's get this series win and push forward into the postseason. Moving on to basketball. The Olympics start tonight, and Olympic basketball starts Sunday morning at 10:15 Central Time against Serbia. Now, I won't be watching the game live, but I will be recording it and watching it later that evening. This team is just really stacked. Of course, you have the legends in LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant, but you also have 3 Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, and Derek White. And I really hope they bring home the gold. It won't be as easy as it was in the past because basketball is more global than ever, but I think Team USA is still the best there is. That being said, there are some issues that hopefully will be addressed before the Olympics begin. These issues have shown themselves in some very close pre-Olympic exhibitions. Now, it's fine to have a close game when it doesn't really count, but in the Olympics, the competition is higher, the adrenaline is up, and it might cost you a victory. So hopefully, they get these issues taken care of. One of the biggest areas of concern is the offensive system. There are a lot of superstars on this team, and it's hard to develop real offensive cohesion. As Andy Bailey of Bleacher Report describes it, the offense is a bit my turn, your turn. But what really needs to happen is better passing. Team USA needs to do a better job of moving without the ball and creating advantages with their passing. Now, another possible pitfall is durability. It's a very quick tournament. If the injury bug bites Team USA, that might affect their chances at winning gold. Yes, there is a lot of talent on this team, but right now, LeBron James has done a lot of heavy lifting. Which is cool, whatever, LeBron is a legend, but he is getting older and you can't rely on one person to constantly bail you out. So hopefully, these guys come in clutch. Hopefully, when the real Olympic Games begin this Sunday, they turn things on a bit. Andy Bailey's Bleacher Report article lists some more possible issues, but those were the 2 that seemed most important to me to address. For the most part, I am very confident that Team USA will win the gold. I am not too concerned, but it's worth talking about these issues. It's worth watching for corrections to these problems. Pivoting to the NBA, there has been even more drama with the TV rights deals. The association has officially announced deals with ESPN, NBC, and Amazon for the next round of broadcasting rights. Now, the current deal, which goes through the end of next season between the association and Warner Brothers Discovery, the parent company of cable network TNT, gives them a right to match for the next round of rights. Warner Brothers Discovery officially matched the Amazon offer. They secured a letter of credit from multiple banks in order to match the $1.8 billion per year Amazon is planning on paying for the rights. In fact, Warner Brothers Discovery would pay for the first 3 years of this contract upfront. The NBA declined this matching offer, believing Amazon Prime was in a better position for the future of television as a streaming service compared to TNT as a cable network. On Friday, Warner Brothers Discovery officially announced they will be filing a lawsuit against the NBA over this development. I think this is the right move. I mean, they were given the right to match any new contract for the next round of broadcasting rights. They went to pains to secure financing to do so, and then were told, no thanks, you're not a streaming service like Amazon. You're not a big company like Amazon. No thank you. I hope whatever happens, TNT ends up getting some kind of NBA rights going forward. Honestly, I have no prediction for how this will shake up, because once things go to court, many different scenarios could play out. Now, whatever happens, I think the inside the NBA crew will end up somewhere, or at least the ones who still want to be broadcasters. Now, Charles Barkley is claiming he will retire after this coming broadcasting season, but I will believe that when I see it. No matter what, though, I'm sure Amazon, NBC, or ESPN will reach out to Shaq and the rest of the crew to get them on air. If not TNT, I hope NBC gets them, because I think NBC kind of has that nostalgia factor because they had the primary NBA rights for so long. I also believe, without a doubt, that NBC has the best NBA on TV theme song. It's called Round Ball Rock. John Tesh wrote it. It's awesome. If you weren't watching basketball in the 90s, look that up. I guarantee after listening to it, you will be very hyped up and perhaps a bit nostalgic for Michael Jordan. Whatever happens with this NBA broadcasting battle, it will be interesting. And whenever there is a big development, I will be talking about it. Believe me. Moving on to the Patriots, training camp started on Wednesday. And there have been a few things to note since then. For one thing, it seems Bailey Zappi is already number 4 on the depth chart. It seems that both Drake May and Joe Milton have surpassed him, which is really interesting. Now that being said, there has not been a lot of flashy quarterback play seen yet. Of course, a couple of big passes from Drake May, but also they felt some pressure from our defense. And they've had some pretty bad throws, actually. Now, yes, I enjoy sharing a big pass on social media when it happens at training camp. I enjoy the big plays from training camp, but I'm not going to panic over poor quarterback play at training camp. I'd much rather know now than in week 5 of the regular season that we have some blind spots. So I'm not going to panic. I'm just going to think, look, let's put in the work, let's fix these issues, and be ready for real games in the fall. In many ways, the biggest development had nothing to do with the product on the field. According to rookie receiver Jalen Polk, there is now a players' lounge at Gillette Stadium. It includes a pool table and video games and other stuff like that, so the players have a place to bond outside of the field when they aren't in meetings and stuff like that. Obviously, this is very different from anything Bill Belichick would ever do when he was head coach. But the fact is, there is more than one way to skin a cat, so to speak. I don't want to make any harsh judgments based on these little changes, you know? Maybe it'll be a good thing. Maybe the Mayo-led Patriots can win games using a different strategy. I really think that's possible. There's no reason to be upset. I'm fine with the culture change at this point. You know, you win only 4 games in a season, maybe you need to have a different kind of culture at this point. And I'm not ripping on any past Patriots coaches or players or trainers or whatever. I just think when you have to change, you have to change. And why not go all in on a different philosophy? So our preseason starts August 8th versus the Carolina Panthers at home. And I want to say this, I've changed my mind on the quarterback situation for the Patriots. Initially, I was really skeptical about having Drake May start immediately. I really thought maybe save him for a few late season games when he could start, but otherwise let him sit on the bench and learn. Then I thought maybe you can wait until, mid-season and have him start games. But now I think as long as he performs well at training camp and in the preseason, he should be the starter week 1 of the regular season. I think the reason I was so skeptical at first is that the Mac Jones experience scarred me. He started immediately, he had a decent rookie year, and then went downhill, as we all know. The truth is that Drake May is simply better than Mac Jones, and I know that already. For one thing, Drake went to a public high school and then went to college at an ACC school known for basketball, where he stood out and was desired by multiple NFL teams. Mac Jones, on the other hand, went to a private high school that has one of the best athletics programs in Florida, and then in college went to the University of Alabama, where he had the privilege of working with Nick Saban. Now, I have nothing against Mac Jones as a person. There is nothing wrong with going to a private high school with a great football team, nor is there anything wrong with going to an SEC powerhouse for college. All I'm saying is that the difference between Mac Jones and Drake May is that Mac Jones has often been in a place where he is in a strong position to win. Drake May has had to earn his spot as a top prospect and earn his spot as a New England Patriot more than Mac Jones in many respects. Right now I'm in a place where I'm just avoiding the noise. I'm avoiding the negative feedback because as I keep preaching on Sports Chowder, there are just so many unknowns about this coming season. All new coaches, a number of rookie players on our offense. We can't know until they're really tested in a regular season game. And for some reason, I just want to be optimistic, you know? We've had a couple of rough seasons. There's no reason we can't start to turn things around this year. You know, I'm not saying Drake May is going to win a Super Bowl his rookie year. But I'm also not going to say we're going to go 0-17 and have the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Change is difficult, but sometimes it is incredibly necessary. If a player's lounge is what it takes to have a new culture that can start winning games again, I'm all for it. You know, if Drake May needs to play some pool when he's not at practice or at a meeting, that's fine with me. And now, Assorted Awesome, the part of the show where I talk about something that is 100% awesome with no caveats. Last Tuesday, on the final day of the Major League Baseball draft, the Boston Red Sox selected third baseman D'Angelo Ortiz in the 19th round. What's so awesome about D'Angelo, you might be asking? Well, D'Angelo is the son of Red Sox legend, 3-time World Series champion, and Hall of Famer David Ortiz. David Ortiz, also known as Big Pape by Red Sox fans, is deeply beloved by Red Sox fans all around the world. He played a very pivotal role in our 2004 curse-breaking championship, and he was the MVP of the 2013 World Series, which came after the Boston Marathon bombings. If you want to look up 2 things about him, first of all, look up his season-saving 2-run home run in the 2004 American League Championship Series. That is really epic. It was really clutch. Just read about the 2004 American League Championship Series. It's really an epic tale. In my opinion, it's the greatest moment in the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry. I would also look up the speech he gave at the first Red Sox home game after the Marathon bombings in 2013. He does drop an F-bomb, but given the circumstances, I think it's okay. A lot of people in Boston loved it. I think if you understand what the city of Boston went through at that time, I think you'll be okay with it too. I say all that to emphasize that David Ortiz is perhaps the most beloved Boston Red Sox player of the 21st century. So the fact that the Red Sox drafted his son is a big deal. I would say this is Boston's LeBron James Jr. moment. Now, Devin Pearson, the Red Sox director of amateur scouting, made a point of saying they just felt like he would be a good add to the organization, and that it's just a very big plus that his dad is David Ortiz. But they drafted him because he is a strong prospect. No matter what happens, it's cool that both father and son are going to play for the Red Sox organization at some level. I really hope that D'Angelo makes it to the Major League team. I would really love to buy a t-shirt that says Little Pape to match my Big Pape t-shirt. No matter what happens, it is a very unique and cool moment in the history of the Red Sox, and I'm very happy for both David and D'Angelo Ortiz. That is all I have for this episode of Sports Chowder with me, Sam Stebbins. You can follow me on X at Stebbins Tweets. You can follow the show at sports_chowder. You can follow the show on Instagram at Sports Chowder and like it on Facebook. Thank you so much for listening. I will return in 2 weeks with another all-new episode of Sports Chowder, the show that discusses, celebrates, and/or laments the state of Boston sports.